morning all of you. So today we are going to on Saturday I have given you what you people have to write, because we have completed consumption function, all right, and we are doing household. Okay, under household, as I told you, that household does two activity. One is consumption expenditure, so we have done consumption function, and one is saving. So now we have to do the saving function, or propensity to save. Which is also called saving okay, so which is also called saving function, right? So saving, I gave you people, I've made you people underline what you people have to write under the meaning of saving function. Okay, so first under this we will write meaning. Okay, and if you see if you see the Saturday part, if you see the Saturday part, in that I've made you people underline. So page number 204, you see the meaning of saving function. What is consumption function? The functional relationship between desired consumption expenditure and level of income. So what will be the saving function? The functional relationship between the level of saving and the level of income. The functional relationship between the level of saving and the level of income is called saving function. That I have made you people underline in the copy, and I told you people to write. Okay, then how will you write saving function algebraically? How you write saving function algebraically? You know the formula of income. Income is equal to C plus S. So from this we can define the formula of saving. So saving will be equal to Y minus C. This algebraically we will write the meaning of saving function. Okay, so the meaning of saving function we people have done. Now we'll start types of saving function. So meaning we have done. Next we have to do the types of saving function. Okay, there are two types of saving function. One is average propensity to save, and second is marginal propensity to save. Okay. Average propensity to save means what? The proportion of income that household want to save. The amount of income that household want to save is called what? Average propensity to save. That what you people have written. And the formula of average propensity to save is equal to SAPC. APS is equal to S upon Y. Okay, S upon Y is the formula of APS, that is average propensity to save. Next, marginal propensity to save. The ratio of what? What is the meaning of average? The ratio of change in total desired saving due to change in income. Okay, so what is the formula? NPS is equal to delta S upon delta Y. Okay, and then one numerical example I told you people to write for for APS. The numerical example is when the level of income is 1000 crore, saving is 100 crore. Okay, so if you see the average propensity to consume, we took income as 1000 crore and consumption expenditure is 900 crore. So we have done 900 upon 1000. we got average propensity to consume as 0.9. Okay, so here as 900 is the consumption and 1000 is the income, then 900 minus 1000 is equal to how much will be your saving? Saving will be equal to 100. Okay, so that is the example of APS. APS example is income given 1000 crore. Okay, consumption is 900 crore. Okay, then your saving will be Y minus C, that is 1000 crore minus 900 crore is equal to 100 will be your saving. Now how to calculate how to how to calculate your APS? We'll calculate APS. Formula is S upon Y. So your S is 100 and Y is 1000. So your answer is 0.1 is your APS. APS will be your 0.1. Okay. Similarly, we have done MPS. Under MPS, okay, income increases from 1000 to 1100. Consumption expenditure increases from 900 to 980. That we have done under marginal propensity to consume. Okay. So following that, your saving will be 20 and consumption will be your income is 100. So 20 upon 100 your MPC will be 0.2. Alright. So this much I have given you people to write in the Saturday, and today I have explained you people what? Saving, propensity to save. Propensity to save I have explained you people. Alright. Now this much you people have to write under propensity to save. Now we have done types, okay. And now we have to do the two important properties of saving function next. Properties of saving function. All right, now right, the saving line, first property. First property, right, the level of saving is directly related with the level of income. The level of saving is directly related with the level of income. Full stop. Then higher the level of income, higher will be the saving. Lesser the level of income, lesser will be the saving. Okay, lesser will be the saving. And when the level of income is 0, saving will also be 0. And when level of income is 0, saving will also be 0. When level of income is negative, saving will also be negative. Okay, you need to remember this. Is it clear? That is the first property. Okay, what is the first property? The level of saving depends on the level of, directly related with the level of income. Higher the level of income, higher will be the saving. Is it clear? Now, then I told you, when level of income is 0, saving will also be what? 0. Okay, that is the first property. Write down the second property. The slope of saving line indicates marginal propensity to save. The slope of saving line indicates, similarly, the way we people have done, the slope of consumption function is marginal propensity to consume, that is small c. Similarly, the slope of saving is marginal propensity to save, that is small s. That is small s. Is it clear? So this is the second property. Okay. So tomorrow in my video, I'm going to explain you the relationship. Today I have completed propensity to save. In that we have done the meaning of propensity to save or saving function. Then we have done types, that is average propensity to save and marginal propensity to save. Then we have done the two properties of the saving function. Tomorrow I am going to do the relationship between the two functions. Okay. That is consumption function and saving function. For today only this much. Thank you, children.